All right. I've been busy building an app recently called Hot Loads, and it's an app for basically it's a start one app, load some others automatically. It just sits in your system tray. It loads. You can start it with Windows, start it hidden in your system tray, and uh, and what it does is it just sits there waiting for these trigger apps to load, like ACC, AMS2, SAO Corsa Evo, and then when it detects any of those apps have been loaded, it will load up these child apps. It will load up Joy to Key, Crew Chief, and Coach Day Delta if I was to launch SAO Corsa Competizione. So let's do that now just to prove my point. Normally, this app would just be sitting in your system tray quietly without being any bother. But for this example, I'm going to have it just on top of everything constantly so you can see it, how it works. So that's me starting ACC. It's detected that it's started, and then it's loaded up Joy to Key, it's loaded up Crew Chief, it's loaded up Coach Dave Delta. There you go. And then all you have to do is just use the game as always.
All right, can you hear me okay?
There you go. Sometimes, some apps like Coach Dave Delta, they do open up on top. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that at the moment because that's just the way the app is built. I do have a feature in Hot Loads where you can start these child apps minimized, but it's a bit hit and miss. It's essentially the same as a Windows shortcut, and if you right click on that, click properties, you can sometimes select start minimized. It's essentially doing the same thing, and it works the same way. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If the app doesn't want you to start it minimized, you won't be able to start it minimized. You can't force it here. So things like Coach Dave Delta, I know they're looking into being able to start the app minimized or in the system tray. So hopefully that comes along, and then it won't cover up our game when it loads. But it's one click to get it back to the game, obviously. And yeah, that's it. So that's what it does. It's not. I know there's apps out there that do more than that. There's apps out there that do one specific job. Like there's one for iRacing so it detects when iRacing's loaded, and then it loads up whatever apps you want it to. There's Auto Crew Chief or Auto CC that's sitting in your system tray, waiting for you to load up your game, and then it will load up Crew Chief. So those apps are really good. I've used them, but I wanted something a bit more robust that did more than just one job. So what this does is this will just be one small little app in your that sits in your system tray whilst it's on Windows Startup if you want it to, which it should really, in my opinion. And then it's just one app sitting in your system tray rather than lots of apps sitting in your system tray waiting for you to do the one thing that you're going to use that app for. So and it's not necessarily for games. I mean, obviously, I built it with sim racing in mind, but it doesn't have to be sim racing at all. It could be like here, I'm using it for my audio. So I start Bitwig, which is a digital audio workstation, and it loads up my MIDI tools at the same time. So I don't need to remember to load these up, or I don't have to have them sitting in a system tray from boot until I use them, because there could be some I can go weeks or months without loading up these things. So it'd be nice just to be able to go to, all right, I want to have a session in Bitwig, make some music, and all I have to do is just to load up Bitwig, and then everything's done for me. So iRacing, for example, If I was to load up iRacing, it would load up these 4 things: Evo, just joy to key; AMS2, joy to key; crew chief. Now with these toggles here, well, obviously that button is delete, so you can delete crew joy to key or crew chief or coach Dave Router. You can copy it, which makes it easy to add to something else. So obviously Coach Dave Delta doesn't work with AMS2, but if we were to copy it, we can now paste it, and then that will load up when you load up Automobilista 2. So, and you can also add children using that button, or you can drag and drop. You drag into the add trigger zone for a parent, or you can drag onto these individual to add a child. You can show the more fields to see the data being generated and used by hot loads. Hover over that so you can see the path it creates. See, not the path it creates, the path it's using for the main app that it's trying to load. If you're using shortcuts, that can be temperamental, but there's nothing I can really do about that. I've baked in a few things for the shortcut parser to make it find the correct path, but shortcuts in Windows are a nightmare. There's nothing consistent about them. Some of them are really easy to work with and they have the absolute path that you need for apps like this. Sometimes they don't, and you've got to try and build it from other parts. So I've tried my best, but sometimes the path is just never going to be found correctly, and it's better to just go to the exe itself and use that when you're into hot loads rather than use a shortcut. This feature here is close with parents. So when we close ACC in a minute, you'll see that joy to key and crew chief, because that's enabled, they'll close with ACC because you don't need them anymore. But Coach Delta, I want to see the data that I've just generated. I want to look at it, see what I'm doing. So I've left that to not close with ACC, and it will just stay there and I can analyze the data. And I think that's it. Let me show you how to add a trigger and add some children to it. Let me just close this down, then you'll be able to see what happens next. So ACC's detected as closed, and then joy to key and crew chief now close as well, leaving Coach Dave Delta open, which is done. And if I'd actually done some laps, I'd be able to see that data. Yeah, brilliant. Now let's add Le Mans Ultimate as an example. It's like I had it ready. There you go. Le Mans Ultimate's been added, and then let's add some children. Now, because I could go through and select the apps that I want, like that, so that's one way of doing it, or I can simply copy crew chief and paste it in, and copy Coach Dave Delta and paste it in, copy joy to key and paste it in. Sorted. There you go. That's built up really quickly. Nothing too strenuous. And now when I launch LMU, there you go. It's launched all the things that I need.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Because I don't have VR open. That's a bad example, but you get the idea. And it's left Coach Dave Delta open for me again. Brilliant. So that's it. That's it. Have a play. I need your help ironing out any bugs, finding bugs, letting me know about the bugs. You know where to find me if you know me. If you want to try it out and you don't know where to find me, leave a message on this video, I suppose, and I'll put you in the right direction. Yeah. That's it. That's my video. This is my advert.